Nearly 7 days had passed at Starfile Lake. In those 7 days, they had seen a lot and learned even more. Danger, cooperation, and survival had tested them repeatedly, but in the end, they managed to cross the lake safely and emerge alive. Sengkong looked at Lufan and calmly said, "Our mission ends here. Now we have to escort the specialist back to camp." Lufan smiled lightly in response. "Yes, you're absolutely right, brother. I think we're very grateful for the expert's persistent efforts throughout this journey." Captain Lu stepped forward and placed a hand on Lufan's shoulder. "The area ahead is completely unknown," he warned. "I've heard that the ferocious beasts there are at least level 90, or even higher." He paused for a moment before continuing. "You're strong, but you should still be careful." Lufan looked at him and smiled confidently. "It's okay, Captain Lu. Don't worry. I know my limits." Just then, the expert stepped forward. "Lufan," he said, his voice serious, "all I can say is that the area ahead isn't a place where someone like me, a support team member, can go." He hesitated a bit before finishing his sentence. "I think you should go." Then one by one, they all said goodbye to Lufan. Without hesitation, Lufan turned and started walking towards the unknown area ahead. After a few steps, he stopped and looked back at them. "I hope you all get home safely," he said. Lufan decided to move forward alone. He knew that the ruins of the ice dragon were still about 2 or 3 kilometers away. There was no reason to delay any longer. Without hesitation, Lufan continued walking toward his destination. Behind him, his dragon stood ready in support. Suddenly, it let out a powerful roar that echoed across the frozen land, shaking the silent air around them. A faint light flickered before Lufan's eyes as the status window appeared. According to the information displayed, the ability could enter or exit stealth mode at any time. However, the stealth would immediately be cancelled if it was detected by a detection skill, or if any damage was taken. Lufan had been flying through the air non-stop for nearly 2 hours, and finally he arrived at a vast frozen plain. It was an unfamiliar area. Its level was marked 100. As Lufan looked around, something strange caught his attention. At first glance, the shapes scattered across the plain looked like statues, but when he focused more closely, he realized they weren't statues at all. They looked like animals, creatures completely frozen by thick layers of ice. It seemed as if they had been trapped mid-walk and then suddenly frozen completely. Just then, Lufan noticed ice rapidly forming on his own hand. Within seconds, the ice began to spread across his skin. Lufan immediately understood what was happening. This place was extremely cold, much colder than any area he had encountered before, and there was something unusual about the ice here. This wasn't ordinary ice, it seemed to freeze things almost instantly. However, the strange ice didn't have much effect on Lufan. He already knew the reason. Due to his family ties with many dragon companions, Lufan had developed a natural resistance, almost like that of a dragon. The freezing power of this land couldn't easily harm him. At that very moment, another thought came to his mind. So that's why the Griffin Corps never developed this area. But then, a movement was heard in the distance. Large figures began to emerge from the ice. Ice-covered beasts slowly rose from the frozen ground, their eyes glowing with hostility. A moment later, they roared loudly at Lufan. Level 100 creatures. Seeing them, Lufan calmly descended from the sky. Behind him stood his companion, Sim Chen Dragon, his loyal dragon pet. As Lufan clearly saw the approaching creatures, he understood what they were. "Oh," he said with a slight smile, "aren't these an advanced version of the Snowy Plains Yeti?" His eyes lit up with excitement. This is the perfect opportunity to test the strength of the level 100 area and gain some experience. Lufan immediately ordered, "Charge Starlight, enhance Shen." Without delay, the dragon opened its mouth and attacked directly. This power, known as Stellar Destruction, gathers starlight power within its body and releases laser beams, causing immense damage. It cannot penetrate defenses and cannot be blocked. The damage increases with strength and level. As soon as Lufan's dragon attack hit the ice, the monsters instantly melted and died. Lufan laughed at this and said, "Efficiency, not bad. It was killed quickly." Then he moved a little further. Several beasts watched Lufan fly away. Well, Lufan immediately ordered, "Jin Chan, immediately charge the power of 39 million heavenly stars, world-ending." This dragon tamer is another one that gathers the Sky Dragon clan's aura by concentrating it into a star. Every 10 seconds, its power is restored to 100% based on the attribute, and usage does not accumulate all at once. This device, composed of 39 million sky stars, invokes a stellar core. Its power increases with the constant splitting of the stars within. Eventually, this star can be detonated by the Sky Dragon, causing a catastrophic catastrophe to the world. Lu Fan had reached level 70, and the Steel Dragon star level had risen to 64. During this journey, almost everyone on his team had become stronger. These icy beasts were known as icy bears, and their main strength came from a powerful ability called the Plains Red Chariot technique. They could create large blocks of ice and hurl them forward like weapons, causing heavy physical damage and a burning effect from the explosive force. One of the icy bears in front of him was level 110. Lu Fan looked at them calmly, and at that moment the status window reappeared in front of him, confirming that his level had indeed increased. Just then, the icy bears advanced. One after another, they picked up large icy boulders and began throwing them directly at Lu Fan. But the Xingqian dragon was already prepared. As soon as the attack began, the dragon activated the power of scale armor. Instantly, a dazzling shield formed, layered with protective layers that glowed faintly in the starlight. For the next 60 seconds, the shield would absorb all incoming damage. And once the skill ended, every enemy in melee range would receive accumulated damage that had been absorbed. As soon as Xingqian used the ability, all the icy stones thrown by the bears collided with the shield, yet none of them caused any damage. The attacks were completely neutralized. It was astonishing to witness such a skill. Even though the bears' attacks had an explosive effect similar to fire damage, they still couldn't break through the defense. For a moment, the battlefield became strangely quiet, and then suddenly, in the next moment, something unexpected happened. All the snow bears lowered their heads and bowed as if their master had arrived. Lu Fan was surprised. For a moment, a thought flashed through his mind. Could it be that the ice dragon's monsters are nearby? Is that why these creatures are acting so afraid? Slowly, Lu Fan descended to the ground. The frozen wind swept across the plain as he approached the fallen bears. Kneeling beside one of them, he reached out and touched the blood with his hand. The blood was still fresh. His eyes narrowed slightly. "These weren't killed long ago," Lu Fan murmured to himself. "They must have died only a short while earlier." It looked as if something, or someone, had been hunting them. But Lu Fan immediately ruled out one possibility. "This wasn't my dragon's doing." He stood up and looked across the vast icy plains, his gaze turning sharp and cautious. So who could it be? Several possibilities crossed his mind. Perhaps a rare elite warrior, he thought, or maybe the ruler of this region. Or could it be that the Dark Blood faction has secretly entered this area as a full group? At that very moment, Lu Fan saw something strange in the distance. A horse, one with wings. The sight immediately told him one thing: it could fly. All the nearby ice bears quickly gathered around it, as if drawn to its presence. This creature was known as the Ice Crystal Demon, and it was level 120. Its main ability was called Aurora Spiral Pierce. This power condensed sharp ice energy from its spiral-like tentacles, creating a piercing, high-speed attack. Once released, the attack could rip through anything in its path, causing heavy ice damage and instantly freezing enemies. Lu Fan also possessed many other abilities, powers that manifested at the right moment. As soon as Lu Fan saw the creature clearly, his eyes lit up with joy. In his mind, that creature seemed perfect for a human rider. It would be perfect, he thought. Just then, the winged horse suddenly leaped into the air. As it rose, it released the very force Lu Fan had just analyzed. Aurora Spiral Pierce. The attack shot forward like a swirling streak of frozen light. In a matter of seconds, all the ice bears nearby were completely frozen, their bodies trapped in solid ice and then scattered lifelessly to the ground. Lu Fan watched the scene carefully. Even though I can already fly myself, he thought, and my Xiaoji has his own saddle so I can ride him through the air, I still don't have a personal ride of my own. The more he looked at the creature, the more he longed for it. Lu Fan really wanted that ice crystal demon to be his personal ride. But then the creature suddenly began to fly. As soon as Lu Fan saw this, he immediately understood. "It seems the horse has seen me, and Jing Chen too," he said softly. "That's why it's leaving.